Welcome to one of the many circle sessions hosted by Wonder Girls. Wonder Girls is a nationwide classrooms movement. We bring relatable female role models into classroom settings through our circle sessions. As you will see, the crux of these sessions is its dialogic nature. We're currently working with 150 plus classrooms across 7 Indian cities. Our aim is for every adolescent in India to have access to relatable female role models. I welcome you once again and hope you enjoy learning from our speakers' life journey and career path.
Just to give you a background, I have done my bachelor's in financial markets from Jai Hind, and I've done my after that I worked for a year with KPMG. It is a big four company. It's a multinational company which is mainly into advisory and audit services. So I was working with them for a year, and after which I decided that if I wanted to grow, professionally, I needed to do something more, and that's when I did my MBA in finance. And after that I I got picked up through campus with this private equity fund called SL. It's a part of Z Group. I'm sure you guys have heard of SL World, right? Actually, I don't know. If you guys are from Mumbai, you would have heard of SL World. It's a water park and basically an amusement park in Bombay. So it's a part of that. And so out there, I was working with a private equity company within SL, and I was in investor relationships out there. That's when that was like my first proper job after MBA, where I got proper exposure to a lot of things, and that's when I started meeting a lot of new people. And in the investor relations role, I was mainly handling end-to-end communications with our investors. So what a private equity fund does is basically we used to raise money for builders to build their projects, and we used to finance those. So we used to get investors who would be probably looking to grow their money. We would take their money and we would pass it on to the builders and generate some kind of returns for our clients. So I was handling the end-to-end communication with all our investors. So in terms of financial reporting to them, fund performance, and all of that sort. So I used to look at that. After which one of my friends told me that, you're so good at, connecting with people. Why don't you try wealth advisory? And I did have that as an option. So once you complete your MBA in finance, you have a plethora of options, and it might get overwhelming for you. So I also had like a few set preconceived notions that I wanted to do a particular role only. But and private equity, the one that I did, was actually one of them. But eventually, once you start working, you realize what works for you, what doesn't work for you. And that's when even my friend came up to me. She's like, okay, look, why don't you try out for this role in wealth management? So I said, okay. It was anyways always on my list, but I never really gave it a serious thought. So I went ahead and I applied for advisor at Anand Rathi. I'm kind of lovely good. What I do is I connect with a lot of HNI clients. By HNI I mean um, high net worth individuals who have about a crore minimum to start off with, and we provide them advisory services, where to invest their money, which products to invest their money. We look at not only growing their money, but we also look at the protection of their wealth and the transmission of their wealth from one generation to the other, because your life is not always infinite. You need to pass on the wealth to your next generation. So we look at a whole picture for our whole wealth advisory picture for all our clients. So this is in a nutshell what I do day in day out. And please let me know if I have given you all really long jargons and you all don't understand any particular term. Please let me know. I will address those.
Yeah, so kids, if you want to ask any specific question regarding terminologies कि दीदी ये नहीं समझ आया आपने क्या बोला, if you want to talk about wealth, what exactly wealth is, because you are in 7th, 8th standard, and if you don't know about it, you can ask freely here. Didi will answer your question. Or else, Katha, can you just hold the chat box and choose
Yeah.
from which question you're starting it off?
Yes. Yes. So the first question is from where you get inspired to do health advisory. So I always was passionate about meeting new people, and the main thing in wealth advisory is the most important quality that you should have is that you should be good at communication, and you should be good at meeting new people and building those relations, and maintaining those relations. And I kind of I did not know I wanted to do that, but once I started to learn about it, I said, okay, I might be good at it, and that's how I started off with journey. I hope that answers your question. The next one is from where you got the idea of business when you were a small child. Your idea was what you will become when you become big. Okay. So no, I didn't. I never knew I wanted to become a wealth advisor. Never ever, because I did not even know as a child that that was an option for me. As a child, I wanted to become a computer engineer. Like that was my first, option. But then as I grew older, like even you guys, once you grow older, you all will, once you're exposed to different kinds of things. And I think this platform is amazing because you all are getting exposed to so many different options that are available, which back then there was nobody to come and tell me. So I kind of just went with the flow, honestly.
Great. Bacha Party, any more questions to Didi? You can come off mute and ask. If you don't want to ask questions specifically with the wealth advisory or the career, you can ask general life questions with Katha Didi. How will you, what do you do in your free time? What do you like to do? You get busy in the whole day. What is your go-to food? Anything you want to ask, you can come off mute and you can speak. Path is raising his hand. Path, go for it.
When you get stressed of the work, so what you do?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
When you get with the work, when you get stressed with the work, so what you do?
Yeah, so there will be days, of course, like I do get stressed a lot with work. What I enjoy doing to get my mind off it, I would probably start cooking, or I would listen music. I would go out for walks, stuff like that. That just like to clear out your head, and then I'm much better. And I make cheese, as you all know. So yeah, if you all want to ask me anything about that, please feel free.
I to definitely want to ask, but let's see what kids want. Path, we hope that answers your question. Kathadi performs all her hobbies when she gets stressed. You can
That's
derive.
the best.
Yeah. Then when Path will get stressed, he'll also perform hobbies. He'll feel good. Any more questions? Okay, so Katha, I would like to push the conversation ahead by asking, can you share one experience, or because you told that you have come across multiple people because you advise, right? You advise the wealth sector. So any turning point, any major incident that you remember always कि इस इंसान के साथ इस communication में ये हुआ था that hit your mind, positive, negative, challenging, anything.
Yeah, so I've had many of those. I think one such instance was so you would be surprised that there are so many people who have no idea about the kind of money that they have, and they don't even know they have it. So I had gone to my client's house, and he was sitting with a stock of paper, and he thought that's scrap, and he was going to throw it out. And so I had gone to his place, and then I saw the whole stack of papers lying over there, and I'm like, so what is this? And he's like, nothing, I need to throw this out and all, it's just garbage. So I just like, I saw the first line over there, and I realized that there's share certificates. So if you all don't know, a share certificate is basically like a stake or a part, or you're basically participating in a particular company with their profits and the losses. So you are owning a part of the company through owning a share. So my client had these amazing shares that he had, like a list of them. He had about like 20, 30 different types of companies that he was owning, and he had no idea about that. And when we calculated the value, it was about close to 7 to 8 crores, and he had no idea he had that kind of money. So that was like, that was a learning experience, because and for him as well, he's like, I never knew my father left me all of this, and it was just lying over there. So we had to then go in the process of dematerializing it and getting it into his bank account and stuff like that. So that was one very exciting thing.
Yeah, so he was in the position to advise them what his father didn't do,
Right.
what he had to, but
Yeah,
now
so
he can do.
making that person realize, and like it was just a different feeling, because he was so happy. He's like, I never knew that I had this.
Great, great. Parth, you are raising your hand again. You can ask.
Which is the work that you don't like, but you get it, but you
Oh,
get.
yeah, so there's a lot of that as well. Whenever you do any job, there will be times where you not like the work, but you should always remember that whatever it is, however big or small, it's still going to help you learn. The thing that I dislike in the current role that I'm doing is probably, doing a lot of operational work. Like maybe sometimes I have to fill out some forms. Um, sometimes I have to like just do a lot of coordination for just picking up certain documents, and it kind of gets frustrating. And the main thing is that okay, I've done my MBA and everything, and I'm still filling forms. You kind of get a little upset about that, but it's a part of life, and you just need to get over it.
All the paperwork in the world frustrates.
Yeah, you cannot escape that.
No way out.
Yeah.
Feel you. So, great. Ishita?
Got a few questions also, right?
Yeah, I guess Ishita is
Yeah,
going to
she
come
is.
off mute and speak. Yeah.
So, hello, Didi. My question is, when was your first time when you met cheese and that became your hobby?
This was around 2 years ago. I was just watching a lot of YouTube videos, and that's when I came across one, and I was really fascinated. All these years I never knew how cheese was made, and I mean I knew it was made out of milk, but I didn't know what the process was. Nothing. So I was just watching some YouTube videos and stuff, and then I started like going deeper into it, and then I realized it's not that difficult. I should just try it out at home as well. So there are three to four different types of cheeses broadly. There's like a soft cheese, there is a semi-soft, there's a hard cheese, and out of all of them, soft cheese is or what you call fresh cheese is something that you can make easily at home. That's what I started off with. So I started watching a lot of YouTube videos, and I bought this book called The Art of Cheese Making at Home, and there's another book called Artisanal Cheese Making. So I ordered these books from Amazon, and I just started making it. So I make a lot of fresh cheeses. So I have tried paneer. I've tried making mascarpone. It's used in desserts. I've made cream cheese. I've made queso blanco. Uh, yeah, I think that's yeah. And I've also tried goat cheese. I don't know if you guys have ever had that. It has a little bit of tang, but it's really good. You should try it out if you have the opportunity. It's amazing.
Hello. Hello, ma'am.
Anji Varun, go for it.
Ma'am, when you are child, when you learn how to make tea.
Can you come again, Varun?
Okay, he is asking, how did you learn to make a tea?
Tea. Oh, I learned how to make tea. I think 4 years ago. My mom taught me because I don't drink tea myself. So my mom had to like force me to learn how to make it. Because I don't drink tea, so I'm like, I don't drink it. I'm not gonna make it for you all.
Ah.
But then I learned recently only.
Varun, you know how to make
Make tea, Varun.
tea?
Yes, I know. Na?
Wow, that's amazing. I recently came to know. That's good.
Who else is raising hand?
Didi, do you love cooking?
Yeah, I do. I enjoy it a lot. I think it's the best stress buster for me. I don't enjoy like cutting so much, but other than that, it's fun. I make like a lot of pastas. I make Chinese. I like to make even Indian food. I make sometimes I make naans at home. So yeah, it's a nice stress buster for me.
Parth, you have another question or the hand raises of previous question?
It is Rufi's question. Okay.
Hi, Rufi.
Hi. Which activity do you like in free time?
So yeah, I like in my free time I like to cook. I like to meet my friends as well. So all of my close friends live like right around the corner for me. So I meet up with them over the weekends. Yeah, we go out. We uh, we sometimes we even cook together since we love cooking so much. And yeah, I travel. I sometimes go out for a run. So that's what I do during my free time, honestly.
Do you like sport?
Which game?
No, I'm not into sports at all, honestly. But one thing that I enjoy watching is cricket.
Okay.
You
You are
like
also
going to stadiums?
Not so much. Like I prefer sitting at home and watching it with a few friends. When there's a good match, especially India Pakistan, then of course have to watch it.
So our kids will be like watching match maybe in near future in Motera Club, that is the hugest.
Wow.
Yeah. So in Ahmedabad, they were very excited in one class. They shared कि हमको Motera लेके चलो.
Yeah, I think in India cricket is like
I don't
the
like
best
cricket.
thing ever. Everyone loves it. Varun doesn't like cricket.
I hate.
I hate you. Oh my God.
Oh, why? What do you like? Football?
Oh no, no sport.
Those-
Oh,
ठीक है. Great. Priyanka, you can ask your question.
या दीदी हाय दीदी आपने लॉकडाउन में कैसे मींस अपने आप को खुश रखने के लिए क्या किया
so Priyanka, during lockdown, I had a lot of work, honestly. So I did not have any time to do like how there were so many people doing nothing at home and getting bored. Uh, Fortunately or unfortunately, that was not a luxury for me because when you're a wealth advisor, you are on a basically you're working continuously. You don't even get like Saturday, Sunday off because your clients will still call you up and you are managing someone's money. So you cannot run away from that. You need to be responsible enough to make sure you're answering them. So it was and right during the lockdown, the stock market had crashed, like it had fallen a lot. So there was a total chaos, in my office. I was obviously not going to office, but from home. So I was kind of busy with that only. And whatever free time I used to get, like of course I couldn't like on weekends I couldn't go out and meet my friends. I used to like we used to have Zoom calls, we used to have family Zoom parties, and we used to just play some games. I think everyone did that. Like we used to
या
play
लूडो
Ludo and Housey and stuff like that. So yeah. Yeah, I love dancing. Someone asked, Ruby asked. I do love dancing. In fact, I have done, I've learned belly dancing for about 6, 7 years. I've done 10 levels of belly dancing as well. Yeah, I love dancing.
Sorry, I was on mute. So, because of pandemic, you was working hard. Did this pandemic added to your work because the death rates were going quite high, and maybe a lot of families were approaching for the wealth advisory because they were very overaged people were dying and it was a risk for them. So,
Right.
did that added to your work? The pandemic.
Yeah, so in terms of our existing clients, there was a lot of, all our clients were really scared because no one knew what's happening next, scared in terms of their life and also in terms of their money and what's going to happen to them because the stock market had gone crazy at that time because obviously there was a slowdown, nothing was working. Everyone anticipated that, none of the companies are going to make any profits. So people were really scared. So imagine somebody having 1 crore rupees on say 28th of February on the program, that guy just had like about 50 lakhs in his account. So how would you feel about that? Like imagine if you had that and you are left with 50 lakhs. So dealing with the stress of our clients was
Katha, if my voice is audible, can you once switch off and switch on the video as it's tricking and the voice is also cracking with that?
am I audible?
Yeah, this sentence was audible, but it was cracking. I just heard about the 1 crore and 50 lakh. Now it's not audible at all. Now, purple.
Yeah. So yeah, I was saying that during that time, there was a lot of uncertainty. So dealing with that, with the kind of mindset our clients had, was very difficult. In terms of getting new clients, there like people were obviously more interested because then they knew, okay, we need to seriously start looking at wealth, in a different way and make sure that we have plans for, whenever there's a contingency like this before, or like, it had never happened before. So that's when, like, people also started realizing, okay, this is important because this is one subject, no matter how old you get, or no matter what field you are in, finance is one subject that you cannot skip ever. You need to know where your money is invested. You need to make sure your money is growing in the correct way. So yeah, and it's something you cannot escape ever.
Yeah, finances sometimes scares me, but they are important in life.
Yeah, and it's just about learning something basic. You don't need to learn every single thing what's there in finance, but just basic money management, and even probably like small things you guys can do, like start going to the bank with your parents, and just learn how all of that functions, and it's good for you all only.
Yeah, that too handful. Coming from the point that how people realize finances and wealth advices are very important. I guess it's happening in all the career fields because when education was shut down for months, when schools were shut down, everybody
Yeah.
was realizing the importance of what
Yeah, you
education
need
and
to have
physical
some
classroom is.
savings. Exactly, like you can't always live your life and spend all your money and assume that everything is going to be good one day. And when this happened, people fell back on their savings, and if you don't have any, then it gets, of course, very difficult for you to manage. So that mindset has changed.
Great. Juhi, you want to ask question?
So, Didi, when you like cooking, so have you tried ever making any international dish? Have you not hear any time that and once time you hear or see it and try to make it and it was good?
Can you just come again? I could not hear the last part. Have I tried cooking?
Have you ever tried to cook any international dish which you have heard any time in your childhood, not have heard, but now you heard and tried it?
Yeah. So I had never heard of something called as a shakshuka. It's made out of eggs and tomato. I had never heard of it. I tried making that. I tried making stroganoff. I don't know. I've tried like a lot of things, especially during lockdown. Like that was the only saving grace. Just cooking.
A lot of my kids cook and they always ask कि दीदी ये बनाया है, ये खाने आ जाना.
Wow.
Nice hobbies. Anybody else want to ask anything to Katha Didi? So, Katha, can you just briefly tell my kids about everybody is now realizing why finances are important for them because they are in 7th, 8th, 9th standard. The finance definition, the wealth definition is quite tricky to understand. They'll get to know with the span of time. So, just briefly tell them why this is important and how is it going to be useful in their life now. I feel you are against
One second, Shraddha. I think my network is unstable. I'll just log in from my phone. Just give me a minute now.
Sure, sure.
Guys, I don't know how you guys like. Do y'all get pocket money or do y'all just ask your parents for money when whenever y'all need? I don't know how it works, but when I was a kid, my parents always gave me a pocket money right from I think when I was in the fifth or the sixth standard, and that's when I started realizing the importance of savings because I knew that okay, it's not about like there's no expectation from you right now as children. You don't have to, of course, like add money, for your parents or nothing like that. But it's just a good habit that you guys should inculcate in your daily lives because it might just be like a small thing that you want to gift your parents one day, and it could be for their birthday or it could be for their anniversary, whatever it is. And once you start saving, and then when you have that little money extra with you, then you realize, okay, I can do great things when I start saving money. And that's when I realized as a child as well, like when my parents used to give me pocket money, I used to save like say probably like 10-15 rupees out of that. I used to keep it aside, and then I used to like okay, keep that for a special occasion when I wanted to do something for myself. That's when I started saving. And I think you guys as children also should, if you guys get pocket money, you should definitely, I don't say like save the entire pocket money that you're getting, but at least 30-40% of whatever you're getting, just keep it aside. And that's just a good habit to have. You might not even use it ever, but it's good to have that option. And that will then like that just sets your mindset for the coming years ahead of you. And as you grow older, you'll realize how important this is because you might not realize it now because your parents are of course there for you, but eventually when you just become independent. Okay, okay, now I have this much, at least in the back of your head you always know, okay, I am saving, I am independent, I do not need to rely on my parents for that money. So yeah, it's a good feeling and it's a very good habit which you all should all do. Oh wow, somebody gifted their mom a diamond ring. That's amazing, Ruby. How do you save up for it?
Ruby, you can come off mute and share.
So were you like saving every month or something like that? How did you buy it?
I am hoping that she can hear me.
See, she would be like,
I never gifted things to my mama.
Hello.
Hi, Dhruvi. Uh, did you
Hi,
save
Dhruvi.
for that diamond ring?
Yeah, how did you buy it? And how did you save if you did? Like, that's amazing.
Due my mom's birthday at 27 Feb. My birthday was there in 3rd Feb. I got money from everyone.
I'm
I
sorry, I can't hear you.
दीदी I can say in Hindi.
Yes.
दीदी मेरे को मेरे बर्थडे पे ना बहुत सारे पैसे मिले थे, फैमिली ने दिए थे, गिफ्ट किए थे, तो है ना मैंने अपने पैसे भी सबने दिए थे ना, मैंने है ना पिग्गी बैंक में डाल दिए और पैसे बचा के रखे, फिर मैंने मम्मी के लिए ना डायमंड रिंग खरीदी.
Uh,
I'm
I
sorry,
got it.
what did she say? I could not.
Yeah. So she's telling she got ample of money gifts on her birthday from family members. So
So she saved up from that.
yeah, in her piggy bank.
That's amazing, but like you should always do. That's a very good practice, Bhuvi.
you would be lying, Didi.
We can start saving our money in piggy bank. Then one fine day when we want to take rest, we can go on a solo trip. We can invest that money. So save money,
Didi,
save life, save enjoyment.
Didi.
Great. Any more questions, Bacha Party?
No.
Didi, are you going to hear me?
हाँ
अगर ask for the rate, he will know.
आवाज नहीं आ रही है. Chat box पे लिख दो वरुण. Hi Ishita, you can ask.
Yeah, so my question is, as you communicate with your clients very much, so how was your communication with your clients on the first day?
So obviously, like when I was working with SL, that's when I first started actually talking to clients, and it was kind of scary for me. I was actually very nervous because I knew how such big clients. I knew how big they are, and I knew I cannot make any mistakes. So there was a lot of pressure, but yeah, I think I had a lot of support from my seniors when I was working, and you will always have that. So eventually you will get good at it, but you just need to start somewhere. So I started off, and it was scary for me, but I sailed through it. It wasn't that bad. And when you have support from people, it's always better. And whenever you're working, wherever you go, you'll always have support. So it's good. And I think the only good thing, the only quality that you should have, the main quality apart from your financial knowledge, if you want to ever do this, is you need to have amazing people skills. You need to be good at talking to people and maintaining relationships, and that I think comes from within. No one can teach you that. So that's just inbuilt for some people. So yeah, it takes time, but it happens.
Great. Communication is a skill which we always talk with kids to like practice in classrooms and outside the
Yeah.
classrooms. It's going to help them a lot also.
Yeah, and it's not only about wealth. It's in like whichever field you go, relationship building is the main skill or the main quality you should have.
Right. And having people around is the support you are talking about. It comes with trust and relation building in any
Yeah,
career, in any point of time
exactly,
in life. Yeah.
exactly.
Great. Um, Okay, Katha, can you share about one value or uh, one principle, let's say, that you always followed till now? That one principle you want to advise kids also, that I adhere this principle and it helped me a lot coming long way.
Um, in principle, I think that would be that always do good for the opposite person. Like I know you're in business, you are doing business in the end, but always keep your heart clean, because you need to be true to yourself, and only then can you even be good at what you're doing. So yeah, like if I don't believe in a certain product, I will not sell it to my clients. So it's only if I believe, and even if that's going to make me more money, even if that other product is going to make me more money, but it's not not advisable for my client, I will not do it. And that gives me peace when I sleep at night. And I think that's very important. So yeah.
Okay. A great thinking question Katha Didi gave you. You can also think of what is the one thing that is giving you peace before you go to bed, right? What is the one thing? You can write it on the sticky note and paste it on your desk so that you can sleep well. Okay. I would like to see some raised hand. If we can, we have more questions. You want to hear any experience? We'll wait for 3, 2, 1, and then will Shraddha Didi be curious and ask. 3, 2, 1. Ishita is there. Ishita, go for it.
So, Didi, I want to ask that in India, where you have traveled till now?
Yeah, so I have been to a lot of places in Gujarat. I've been to Ahmedabad actually. I have been to Surat. I've been to Gir, the Gir forest. I've gone that side as well. I've gone to Dwarka. I've gone to Mathura up north. Rishikesh, Masuri, Dalhousie, Dharamshala. Kerala I have been to. So within Kerala, I've gone to like Munnar, Thekri, been to Chennai. Rajasthan, I've been to a lot of places. I've been to Jaipur, Udaipur, Jodhpur, I've been, Jaisalmer. So yeah, quite a few places.
Um, I do love traveling. From what I heard Dwarka also, and something strike on my mind. Uh, with respect to finances, there are a lot of these religious cities we call, like Haridwar, Dwarka, Rishikesh. They are quite
Right.
big temples.
Hmm.
Do these managements also reach out wealth advisory for something, or they just keep the
So
money
they
and spend?
so I know a few of them do. So you must have heard of ISKCON, right?
Yeah, yeah.
ISKCON temple. So they, in fact, so all of these temples, they have a trust. So they invest through that trust. So ISKCON is actually one of our clients as well. So we do invest their money, and they also have their limitations, that they wouldn't invest in a few risky products because they need to maintain it, because it's in the end it's the trust's money, and it's used for multiple purposes, for whatever, I think, for their social causes or whatever they do. I don't know exactly, but yeah, but they do invest their money.
That's a great thing. We didn't know that.
Yeah.
Um,
But I just know of ISKCON. I don't know of a lot of others, but I know ISKCON does it for sure.
hmm, right. There are a lot of con temples here as well. I've been to Delhi. They are quite like they manage their space very well.
Yeah.
Space and
So
all
that's why, like,
the
they are very conscious about the kind of products they will even get into. Because in the end, it's the trust's money, as I said. It's not theirs to, just dispose of.
right, right. Okay. Anything else before we wind up? It's 5:45. We still have 15 minutes, so we can pull the sessions to a ending note if we want to. If we don't have question, I can ask Katari to share one more thing, and then we can start the gratitude if you want to. Any kid want to say something? If you want to share the experience also, anything you learned new today, you can tell the Didi also so that she knows ki, yes, you learned something. Priyanka, go for it.
Didi, actually, my uncle is know how to do share market.
Wow, that's great, Priyanka. That's amazing. So do you learn anything from him? Do you speak to
Yeah,
him about it?
yeah,
Nice, nice. So are you interested in finance? Do you want to get into this or no?
yeah. Uh, like a part job.
Right. Yeah, you can always try new things and try
Yeah,
your hand at different things. Right now, you all are so young, you'll have the option to choose. And as I said, this platform is amazing that you are exposed to so many different available options for you all. So you all should actually just like take up whatever you all are getting right now and just learn.
yeah,
Great. Share market samajhna is very interesting thing. I recently watched that Big Bull
Yeah,
series.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
So we actually had that as a chapter in one of our in colleges. So in when I was doing my bachelor's, we had it as a chapter. It was all about scams. So we
Oh,
learned about Harshad Mehta and everything.
I heard about Harshit Mehta and all these scams by through this series only. I
Yeah,
never heard it before.
exactly. So there are many such scams, which I think they will eventually come out with web series, and it's very interesting.
So they are making another same series only with Abhishek Bachchan.
Yeah, I know. Or on the same Harshad Mehta. They'll
Same.
even come up with there's this other guy Ketan Parekh. There's this one Rupal Bain Panchal. She's I think from Gujarat itself.
हाँ वही सोच रही थी मैं like हर्षद मेहता गुजरात Ketan
Yeah, they're
Parekh
all
is also
Gujarati.
sounding Gujarati.
Yeah, but then again,
But
Abbas
they're
is
very
also
talented.
Gujarati.
They are saving money and they are scamming also. Good.
Yeah.
Right. So Katha, we can uh, complete this session by sharing any childhood memory you want to share which makes
One
you
of us
smile
can know
always.
how they scam.
Sorry, Varun was saying something.
I was saying that first tell us that how the people can share and scam in share market.
How people can
Scam
Scam.
usually
scam.
or
Oh,
yeah.
there are many ways. So, like, what do you? Okay, so I'll give you one example. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah, you are fully audible.
Yeah. So there was this one female called Rupal Bain Panchal. Okay, so she is from Gujarat. I don't know which part of Gujarat, but back then I think this was in early 90s or yeah, early 90s. So that's when so there were a lot of companies who wanted to raise capital so in because they wanted to expand their business. So they went to the public and they're like, okay, y'all give me all these different companies went to the public and they were like, okay, we'll give you a part ownership in my business and you buy a share from us. So this is called an IPO. Okay, it's called an initial public offering. So this was the Rupal Bain Panchal scam is known as the IPO scam. You all can even look it up on Google once we're done talking. So what happened was back then people started subscribing to these shares. So you need to apply for this particular ownership in the business that you want. Like they'll not just come and give it to anybody, everybody. You need to apply for it, and you can just fill out some forms and you have to give your that time there was nothing like okay you have to submit your pan card or there was very few documentation back then, so there were a lot of loopholes. So people used to just write okay Rupal Bain Panchal as the first application for subscribing to the share. The second application, she used to mention, say, Rupal B Panchal or just like R Panchal. So that way she applied for like some thousands of shares, and she controlled majority of the holding of this company by subscribing to through different names, and they were all fake names. So she made up these fake names and she started applying for these company IPOs. And what she did was, then when the market, so once you apply for these shares, they get listed on the stock exchange. Once you get listed on the stock exchange, you can buy and sell it for a profit. Okay, so once she bought all of these shares at a very cheap rate, because whenever you come out with an IPO, you are getting a share, or you're getting your share in that particular business at a very, very reasonable cost. So for example, you are getting a share for 10 rupees when you're subscribing to an IPO, but once it gets listed on the stock exchange, it's open for buyers and sellers to bid on that. So for example, I paid 10 rupees for a particular share. Once it got listed, that share became 20 rupees, 30 rupees. So she was controlling majority of the shares of that particular company just by giving fake names to people and purchasing shares from them. So this was a very big scam that got unfolded eventually, and she made a lot of money out of it because she sold all of this in the open market. And that's when the whole, I don't know if you guys know of KYC, which is now into the picture, which is know your customer. So after this scam was when the government realized that you need to have you cannot have any, you can't just have people coming and subscribing to your shares randomly. You need to have a procedure in place. You need to have somebody to give you your PAN card, your Aadhaar card. You need to have all the documents for the person who you're probably giving your shares to. You need to know those details of that person before allocating those shares to that person. So yeah, this was a big IPO scam.
For
You're
the in ICO, we can buy only one share.
No, so there are limitations. I think so basically for retail investors, so there are different categories of investors. There's a retail investor who, like people like you and me. Then there's an HNI investor for a ticket size of 1 crore and above. There is an institutional investor, which is for corporates, another company buying another company's share. So out of the 100% of the ownership of the company that is up for grabs, probably 10% would be, say, allocated to retail, 20% for institutional, stuff like that. So back then when Rupal Bain Panchal started this, there was no such distinction, and she applied through different quotas, and she got her allocation from everywhere possible. So yeah, so she
So,
applied a lot of them.
so means the 10% which each and every normal person can buy, he bought all of that.
Almost all of them, like most of them. She didn't buy the whole 10%, but probably 5 to 6. But she was basically controlling the majority of it. And there were 2 3 other people also with her who did it. I don't remember their names now, but this was quite a big scam back then, and that's when the whole KYC came into the picture.
That was a pretty good conversation coming from scam to giving an example and answering Varun's question. Varun, do you have any more question
Why
from that?
were you laughing? Why were you smiling?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Anybody else want to raise hand? We have 5 more minutes. Ruby, yes.
We have YouTube channel or not?
Kata Didishi is asking about the social media. Do you have a YouTube channel?
No, I don't have a YouTube channel. I watch a lot of YouTube videos, but I don't have my YouTube channel.
She was here for an hour to advise you all of it, जो भी तुम channels पे देखते हो, तो यहीं पे ले लो जितना सीखना है. Great. So Katha, do you want to share that childhood memory to close up the space?
Yeah. So my favorite childhood memory would be I think going to the beach with my parents. So every Sunday we used to go to the beach, and back then Juhu Beach was really clean, which is not the case anymore. But back then it was really clean, and we used to go every Sunday, make sand castles, sit at the restaurants at the beach over there, just have nice pav bhaji, and yeah, like go play around on the beach in the water. So that's like the fondest memories that I have. But now, of course, can't go there at all because it's really dirty now. But yeah.
Food. I hope recalling that is making you smile because we can't see your face, but
Yes, yes, I will actually try. Yeah, I am smiling.
you can also share like how was your experience in last 50 minutes and
I think I loved interacting with you guys. Y'all are like very, very sweet children, and just keep an open mind to whatever y'all are doing in life, and always keep learning. Like always keep learning. Your learning never stops. Even now, I am learning, and even right now, people who are my bosses, who are like 40, 50 years old, they're still learning. So your learning will never stop. But just keep a positive attitude in whatever you're doing. That's all.
great. So thanks a lot for coming, Katha. We are very grateful to hear you. And there are a lot of
Thanks for having
things
me.
to do.